Hey everyone, today I'll be teaching you how to make this delicious seafood lasagna. You guys have been asking for the recipe and how to make it, and I am here to deliver. It's creamy, it's delicious, it's the kind of thing you want to eat on a Saturday afternoon with some wine, not that I drink alcohol. So, let's get started. Start by filling a large pot with water, then adding salt. Bring the pot to a boil. Then add your lasagna noodles. Add 12 to 14 lasagna noodles. I always like to cook extras just in case some of the lasagna noodles break or get messed up, so it's always good to just have some extra ones. Cook the noodles for about 10 to 12 minutes. Now we're going to shred our Fontina cheese. Take about a half a cup of the Fontina cheese and set it to the side. Drain your noodles and then set them to the side. This is really cool. Okay, instead of having to actually get a full strainer like the bowl strainer, I got this handy dandy handheld strainer and I love to use it. It just makes it way easier so you don't have another like giant dish to wash. In a large bowl, add bay scallops, crab claw meat, and crawfish meat. Mix everything together until well combined. Now add 1 teaspoon of Creole seasoning, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of pepper, and a half a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning. I ended up putting 2 1/4 teaspoons because I ended up using the wrong measuring spoon, but I digress. Mix the seasonings in until well combined. When everything is well combined, set the seafood to the side. In a pan, melt 5 tablespoons of butter. Then add 1 tablespoon of garlic. Sauté the garlic for under a minute. Then add 1/3 cup of flour. Mix until well combined. When everything is well combined, add 1/2 cup of chicken broth. Mix until well combined. Yeah, so it totally thickened up way faster than I thought it would. But anyway, add 1 pint of half and half. Okay, so while I was trying to mix the now lumpy roux, I was just like, okay, this might be fine, but the silent panic was real, man. I whipped out my whisk and started mixing like my life freaking depended on it. Alright, so after a while it started to thicken up, so you know, all good. I added 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream and then mixed again. When everything was well combined and mixed in and it became thick enough, I started to add the cheeses. So I added 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, mixed it until well combined. Then I added the 1/2 cup of Fontina cheese that we shredded before. When everything was well combined, I added 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. This part I didn't measure, so about 1/4 or 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Alright, so I took this sauce off of the stove because it was getting a bit too hot. Then I added 1/4 teaspoon of Creole seasoning. Then I added 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic salt, and 1 teaspoon of liquid seafood oil. After everything is well combined, the sauce is finished. Go ahead and set that to the side. And oh my gosh, it smelled so good. In a medium-sized bowl, add 32 ounces of ricotta cheese. Then add 1 egg. You're actually supposed to add 2 eggs, but I didn't realize I needed 2 eggs until afterwards, but as my mom would say, don't worry about it. Then add 1/4 cup of parsley. Mix everything until well combined. And this is the part where I realized I needed another egg. I'm just so used to splitting the recipe in half when I make my regular lasagna that I didn't even realize I needed to use double when I was making the ricotta cheese. When everything is well combined, set that to the side. Add oil to a large baking dish. Spread the oil around the dish until completely covered. Then add a small amount of sauce. Spread the sauce around until it covers most of the bottom of the baking dish. Then add 6 lasagna noodles. After you finish with that, add half of the ricotta cheese. Then add half of your seafood. Then cover the seafood layer with Italian blend cheese. Oh, and a bit of mozzarella cheese. Then add half of your sauce. Then cover that layer up with Parmesan cheese. Then do it all over again. Noodles, ricotta, seafood, cheese, sauce, cheese, wait, that's it. Okay. Alright, so I added Parmesan cheese on top. I suggest you add Parmesan and mozzarella cheese on top, because I totally went back and added mozzarella cheese later. So in conclusion, learn from me. Learn from my mistakes. Add parsley on top for, decoration and color. And add paprika, which I did not do in the moment, but I did add later. So again, learn from me. Add tinfoil to the top and then put into the oven at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. Then take off the tinfoil and cook for another 25 minutes. Then let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes and you are finished. Let me tell you, it smelled so good. It tasted good and it smelled good. I'm fixated on the smell because it really did smell that good. This recipe was inspired by Coop Can Cook. She has an awesome channel with great recipes and I just wanted to give credit real quick. I didn't do the exact same thing as her, but I did use some of the tips she had in her recipe to help me make mine. It was really, really fun to make and I'm so glad that it turned out so well and that my mom enjoyed it. I was really excited to make a different take on lasagna, so this was super interesting to make. As always, everything I used in the video will be linked in the description below. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! Congratulations, you made it to the end! And because you made it to the end, you have unlocked a special behind the scenes video! Take a bite.
What is that?
The papa sandwich.
Kiona, what's on here?
Papa things. All peas. Peanut butter. Pickles. Peppers. Paprika. Popcorn. And parsley.
Take a bite of the papa sandwich. Do y'all see this?
Nobody asked for it, but I made it anyway. This is how to make the papa sandwich.
This is like having too much fun.
Add peanut butter to 2 slices of bread. Then add pickles. After that, add your peppers. Any peppers are good. I chose jalapeno peppers. Add some parsley. Fresh would be best. Then add popcorn. It could be any kind of popcorn. I chose caramel. Then add paprika. You can also add pepper. It just needs to start with a P. And then you're finished. Honestly, I regard this as the best thing I've ever made. But then it was ruined because she ended up liking it.
Actually, the peanut butter with the popcorn ain't bad. And the jalapeno is actually pretty good.
But one day, I will make a perfect version of the papa sandwich. Worthy of disgust of the highest degree. Was this completely stupid? Why, yes. Yes, it was. Was it worth making a segue at the end for? Yeah. Yeah, it totally was.